I'm Aaron Simmons. This is Philosophy for Where We Find Ourselves, July 5th, 2020. I recently was invited by one of my former students. Her name is Kenia Flores. She's an absolutely amazing young woman. Recently gave a TedX talk that I will link in the description below. She's brilliant. You will all benefit from hearing her. She's also visually impaired, and she is a leader in the National Association of Blind Students, and reached out to me recently and said, hey, I need you to give a talk to the National Association of these blind students as part of our annual conference. And she said, I want you simply to talk about success. And so I thought, as a way of actually preparing to get my thoughts together for the talk I'm going to give for her, I would do that today. I would think about what is success and why does it matter for us? How can we rethink success in ways that allow us to be anchored in virtue rather than anchored in a consumption model of identity? Ultimately, here's the way I look at success. Success is a strategic way of being effective in spaces that we think matter. A strategic way of being effective in spaces we think matter. But notice, success then is not judged by whether or not you pulled something off. It wasn't a matter of, hey, did I check that box? Success is, when understood this way, a mode of being fully invested. Now, I have in the past made very clear that this is why I think we shouldn't be striving for success, because success is so often understood as an accomplishment, an achievement model that then makes us matter as people if and only if we have contributed to a kind of productive capacity conception of human existence. You've done more, therefore you are more successful, and therefore you matter more. That approach to success, I think, leads to us being people who are terrified of failure, and also it leads us to being people who, when we get successful, are unable to live into that success because striving for it, needing to be successful, had determined who we are, such that when we become successful, the happiness we thought that it would give us is all too fleeting. Just recently, I've been listening to David Foster Wallace talk about how in his 20s, he started getting success and selling books, and people were starting to talk about his work. And he said everything he thought he wanted, he got, and then realized that it just didn't bring the contentment, the satisfaction, the joy that he thought he was doing it in order to achieve. I also have been listening a lot to the pro skateboarder Rodney Mullen. And he's an amazing, amazing mind. He's really a philosopher who just happens to be able to do ridiculous skateboard skills. And Rodney talks about the way in which he started becoming less committed to excellence because he knew that if he played it safe, he would win and get more trophies and get more fame. But then eventually he recognized that what mattered was not the trophies and the fame, it was doing something he thought mattered. And so then he started caring more about excellence, which meant he was going to have to take more risks. He might not land the trick because the difficulty was so much higher. And so in that pivot, when he started saying, nah, what matters is not that people are applauding, not that I'm getting accolades for having been successful. I am successful when I have abandoned that as the standard of success. I often refer to this different notion as faithfulness. We should be faithful to what matters and then strategic about how to achieve the types of things that we think are worth our time, energy, and ultimately our lives. If we seek faithfulness or success as this kind of propulsion into things that matter and then being strategic about how to do it, we in fact don't fear failure. We fear not doing what we could. I think that faithfulness is also what a successful life probably would look like. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow, unless a piano falls on our heads.